Alright, we're on day 4 and we are about to start the framing. We're setting the first floor up as far as we have to close some windows, open some walls, and install some raised headers. So before we start going up with the upper floor, we're going to get the first floor prepped to accept the weight of the top floor. So let's go take a look around. We'll show you what we're about to do. Alright, so you can see we are on the inside and we are changing some headers. This particular front wall has a double window unit that we're putting in. This is going to be this wall between the old living room and the old front bedroom. That wall is going to come out. This whole bank of closets is going to come out. We're in the process of putting in a raised header right in this area here, so that it allows us to remove all these interior walls, and the load will be transferred up to the triple LVL header, which I'll show you shortly. And in the meantime, before we go up with the floor beams, the new floor beams, we have to change these interior headers. So over here we have a 2x10 header. You can see it right down here, and we're going to install that and transfer it up to the double plate. We'll create the window and then put our reinforcement posts under it, and then we'll move on to the next window. We have a couple of the windows over here. This window's coming out. That window's going to be made bigger on the backs of the side and the rear of the wall there. And then we're putting a new window in the center of this room. So the whole front here on the first floor will be open from the garage wall all the way across to the back. There'll be a living area, and all the bedrooms will be transferred upstairs. Alright, let's take a look at that triple beam and the flooring as we were talking about earlier. Here is the raised header. It's a triple LVL. It's 1 3/4 by 9 7/8, and that matches up perfectly with the 2x10 Doug's Fir floor beams. And you can see the old 2x6 floor beams that were up here. What we're doing is we're going to remove them. We're going to keep the ones that are here over the bathroom and the kitchen area. This way we don't disturb the ceiling and the kitchen and the hi-hats. And what we're going to end up doing is, in this area, we're going to sister alongside the existing. But over here, we're going to remove them one by one and install brand new 2x10s. But getting back to the raised header, once we install this raised header, which spans to this inside wall here, and then the outside wall, we're going to post down to the solid steel beam that goes down the center of the basement, and then that outside wall. Then we'll attach the floor beams going out to the front and then going out to the back. The back's going to have a 1'6" rear cantilever. You can see the overhang. I'll get more of a close-up for you. Let's take a look over here. You can see the wall, and that floor beam sticks out. Right now we're going to cut it later, but it's going to be a 1'6" cantilever when it's all said and done. So that will hang out and extend past the lower wall by 1'6". All right, let's take a look at the floor framing, which is completed now. And you can see we're about to start our plywood. We have a tongue and groove application that really locks the flooring together. Now let's take a look at the staircase. So what's going to happen here is this. We're looking down to the first floor. Our old staircase is right in there. That's going to get covered up. We're going to take that out, and the staircase into the basement is actually going to get the ceiling is going to get enlarged. And this area, this open area right here, that's going to be an open foyer going up the staircase to the second floor ceiling. So this is going to go, the staircase is going to go up here. It's going to end on the top there where that double beam is. And then right in this area here is going to be a laundry. That's going to be a bedroom in the back. And then you can see the new floor beams. We put a new 2x10 floor beam on the whole second floor. There's our raised header that we showed you earlier. And what we did is we installed all the way across all new 2x10 floor beams. So now we're going to set up our plywood across the top floor, and we're going to lock it in with a tongue and groove style. So let's take a look at that. Taking a look at this area right here, you can see the sheetrock down below from the kitchen ceiling, and what we did is, since it's going to be closed up with the plywood, we want to install our insulation around the perimeter now while it's open, and we installed an R30 bat insulation into the flooring, and we'll lay the plywood down on top of it. This way we don't have to open up the sheetrock later on. You can see the end of the flooring here. We have a 2x10 nailer and a 2x10 box, which is the outer 2x10 beam. And there's a small gap between the two, about 3.5 inches or less. And it's an area that's not going to be able to be accessible once the plywood's on. Even from down below, the wall is covering that void. So what we have to do is fill that with insulation now, so that there's no problems down the road where we have to try to fill it. We could fill it with foam, but there's no foam on this particular project. So what we'll do is we'll take the bat insulation, fill up the void, cover it with our plywood, and then just move on. Okay, let's show you how we install a tongue and groove sheet of plywood. So we you got to stagger the sheet so that the lines are staggered instead of all in line with each other. So every 4 feet you step it in, the next one. So right now we're going to set this one in place, and in order to connect the joints we use a sledgehammer and a block of 2x4 wood to drive it in. So let's take a look, we'll show you. Okay, we're going to set this one in place, and grab a block, put the block down by the edge, because you can't crush the edges because each one has to fit in like a puzzle. It is a tongue and groove piece of plywood. So what we'll do is we'll put the piece of plywood down, have a couple guys stand on the edges, and then we will use a sledgehammer and a block of 2x4, and we'll get it to connect into the joints properly. Hit the block with the sledgehammer, and what will happen is it keeps the edges from denting and preventing the tongue and groove, the tongue to fit into the groove.
Home additions, add levels, complete home remodeling. Become a subscriber. You'll see all our videos shot on location in New Jersey. Thanks. Click on the button right over there. Thanks.